Startup. Make sure all drains are closed tight. Open the EQ pump discharge valves completely. Open the air valves to the Equalization, anoxic, and aeration tanks. All other air valves should be closed. Check the depth of the different float switches in the EQ tank and adjust their depth as needed. Start filling the EQ tank with raw water. Set the EQ pumps on auto once EQ tank is half full. Check the operation of the float switches by raising them and checking the operation of the pumps with all float switches. Check the high-level alarm switch as well. Continue to fill the rest of the system from the EQ pumps. When the anoxic and aeration tanks are half full and the lower mixing impeller is completely submerged, turn on the mixer and check for stable operation. Move the clean water feed hose from the EQ tank to the aeration tank with the anoxic and aeration tank no more than half filled. Continue feeding clean water into the aeration tank and make sure the biomedia is fully wetted. With the anoxic and aeration tanks half full and air valves open, turn blower 1 on. Check for proper aeration in the EQ, anoxic, and aeration tanks. Adjust air valves as needed. Make sure the biomedia is fully mixed into the water in the aeration tank and not floating on the surface. After the biomedia is fully mixed into the water, move the clean water feed hose back to the EQ tank and close the EQ pump discharge valve so they are 1/3 open. Finish filling the system. Let the clarifier fill and overflow to the DynaDisc tank. Slowly open the MLSS recycle air valve and confirm flow from the aeration tank back to the anoxic tank. Leave this air valve 1/3 open. Open the sludge return valve to the anoxic tank. Once the clarifier is filled with water, slowly open the clarifier airlift valve and confirm the sludge return flow to the anoxic tank. Open the sludge wasting valve to the sludge holding tank and confirm the flow. Close the sludge wasting valve and leave the sludge return valve 100% open. Check the DynaDisc tank airlift to the sludge holding tank. Prime the DynaDisc vacuum pump manually by removing the flexible hose. After completing the priming of vacuum pump, reconnect the hose. When the DynaDisc filter is submerged, test the operation of the unit by turning the motor and vacuum pump on and confirm proper operation. Check the DynaDisc vacuum pump reject is recycled to the EQ tank. Put the DynaDisc in auto and confirm the operation of the DynaDisc float switches by raising them. The lower switch should turn on the DynaDisc and the upper switch should sound the alarm. Put enough water in the system so the aeration piping in the sludge tank is covered by 0.3 meters of water. Slowly open the sludge tank air valve and confirm uniform aeration. After 30 seconds, shut the sludge tank air valve. Fill the chemical dosing tanks with water and check the dosing pumps as well as the alum and hyperchlorite feeding points to test the operation of the dosing system. Confirm all tank levels are proper. Set air valves so the aeration is in the EQ and aeration tank only. Confirm that the MLSS and clarifier recycles are operating with both air valves approximately 1/3 open. The MBBR tank is now ready for wastewater. Up to this time, no wastewater has been introduced to the MBBR tank. Open the sump pump discharge valves 50% on both the local and remote sumps and put both pumps on auto. When the sumps activate the float switches, the sump pumps will now send wastewater to the MBBR tank. Confirm that both EQ pump discharge valves are 1/3 to 1/4 open. Open DynaDisc drain valve 100%. The startup is now complete.